Jai Shri Ram. Ambarisha's story. Hmm? Ambarisha was the son of Nabhaga, King Nabhaga, who was a grandson of Vaivasvata Manu, the progenitor of the present race of living beings. He ruled over the earth. Hmm? And he dedicated his whole life to Krishna. One day he and his queen, they were observing a fast on Ekadasi, 11th lunar day of the dark and bright fortnight, for a whole year with a view to propitiating Krishna. On the day following the last Ekadasi of the year, worship was offered to Krishna. When the king was about to break his fast, Durvasa Maharshi appeared with a batch of his students. Receiving the sage with all honor, the king invited him to dinner. The sage accepted the invitation and went to the bank of Yamuna to perform his midday worship. The 12th lunar day was to expire only about half an hour later. A fast observed on Ekadasi day gets nullified if it is not broken in course of the 12th, and it would be inhospitable on his part if he broke his fast before feeding a Maharshi like Durvasa. The king was in a catch-22 situation. And he asked the Brahmins. So they said, you can break the fast by sipping a little water out of that in which the feet of Krishna's image has been washed. So that will be the vaya media. That will be the lateral thinking solution. And he did that and waited for the return of the Rishi. So Durvasa returned, and Durvasa intuited with his supernatural power what happened. And he realized that the king had broken his fast during his absence. So Durvasa lost his temper, and the king joined his palms, feeling almost like a culprit. And Durvasa started screaming, shouting, "Look at this chap, this impertinent, sacrilegious king, this vile king who is intoxicated with the power and the pride of wealth. He is no longer a devotee of Krishna. He thinks that he himself is God. He has invited me, but he has broken his fast before feeding me." Durvasa plucked a lock of matted hair and threw it on the ground with great violence. And a terrible demoness, Kritya, belonging to the class of demons called Kritya, she manifested herself and rushed towards Ambarisha with a sword in hand, and with every move she was making, the earth was trembling. Ambarisha stood firm, unwavering in his faith, Shraddha. He just closed his eyes and thought of Krishna. So the demoness had hardly reached Ambarisha when Krishna's disgust instantaneously reduced her to ashes. And the Sudarshana chakra was roaring like a terrible forest fire and hissing like an angry serpent. And the disgust now started pursuing Durvasa. And Durvasa started running for his life. He ran to all the 14 regions in the universe. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala, and Rasatala, everywhere he started running. Wow. All the regions. He ran, and the Sudarshana was chasing Durvasa. So what happened? So finally he reached Vaikuntham, and falling at the feet of Krishna, he said, he went to Shiva, Brahma, all of them said, no, we don't know what to do. We cannot neutralize Sudarshana. So finally, he landed at Krishna's feet in Vaikuntham. And Durvasa started praying, "Lord, I have insulted your devotee, kindly pardon me, eh? By merely chanting your name, even the denizens of hell are rid of their tortures. Therefore, please, please forgive my fault. The Lord said, "O Maharshi, O Brahmana, I am completely under the domination of my devotee. I am not free. The devotee is extremely dear to me and he rules over my heart. I hold my own self, and even my own consort, Lakshmi, is of no account when compared to the virtuous soul who is extremely devoted to me and who looks upon me as a supreme destination. How can I forsake my devotee who, having renounced everything, his wife, progeny, home, family, wealth, life, and everything, just for my sake?" So, if you want deliverance from this problem, go to Ambarisha himself and crave his pardon. Then alone you will attain peace. So Krishna commanded, go back to Ambarisha and crave his pardon. So ever since Sudarshana started chasing Durvasa, the Rishi, the royal siege, that Rishi was running, Durvasa was running, and Ambarisha was very regretful, remorseful. He was feeling very contrite because he felt that it is because of his behavior that the Brahmin, Durvasa was a Brahmin, right? Brahmajnanam unnavallandaru Brahmana. So Durvasa had gone away without taking food, and that it was due to his papam that the poor Brahmin had to run so hard for fear of death. So Ambarisha felt he too had no right to take any food anymore. So reflecting like this, on this thing like this, Ambarisha gave up food. Ambarisha gave up food from that very moment and lived on water alone. It took 1 full year. Durvasa ran from hell to heaven, pillar to post, and finally he returned. Ambarisha did not budge an inch from his vow. Durvasa clutched the feet of Ambarisha as soon as he returned. Durvasa clutched the feet of Ambarisha, but Ambarisha felt very abashed at this and humbly prayed to Sudarshana. If I do not entertain in my heart the least amount of hatred for the Rishi, and if Krishna, who is the self of all beings, is pleased with me, let yourself be appeased and deliver the Rishi from this calamity. The prayer appeased to Sudarshana, and Durvasa, who was terror stricken with fear, was himself again, and he was greatly relieved and saved by the mercy of Ambarisha. So, learn to respect the devotees of Krishna. And remember, anger and cursing and lack of control over senses will be your nemesis. Jai Shri Ram.